All right.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Everything should be good.
Okay.
All right. So since it appears that I'm hosting it, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? MrNoobTubeGamer. I'm sure you are all familiar with who I am. I joined this shit because I was invited. So, yeah. Let's go.
Very much. I am Squirrel, and I run the show that used to be called What's New on the Internet. Now it's called Pony Tech Reviews because people voted it on Twitter. And it appears that it is a PC versus console debate. So at this point, we have to remember that this is a debate of ideas and not of people. I'm not necessarily sure about what you, and I believe definitely believe that you have no idea what I am like. It is just a debate in ideas, and I'm gonna let you start.
What topic do you want me to start with?
Anything that comes to your mind.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off by saying basically that I don't hate people for playing on PC. That's kind of a misconception that people have about me. That anyone who plays PC gaming or anyone who's a PC gamer, I hate them. That's not really how I feel. It's just like I feel like basically um, I feel like the way people talk about PC versus consoles a bit it's a bit like it's not very genuine, and people kind of lie about it a little bit, and like that's kind of where I find the issue. Like that's kind of why I made those videos that I made. And I kind of feel like I'm trying to represent the side that's not really represented very well, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah. Well, with some of the points in which you brought up in the video, I didn't really necessarily believe one of them. And when you were talking about objective superiority, and I'm just going to bring this up, there are superiorities in certain systems, and even though there are certain situations in which I would recommend a PS4 and Xbox One to another person, which would be for
You're skipping a little bit, by the way, with your lagging.
for example, if they like to play either have what?
You're lagging a little bit.
Is it?
You're cutting off in and out.
Uh,
Like your connection's not good.
yeah, sorry, that's yeah. The infrastructure in the city I'm in isn't.
Yeah, no, I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone else can hear him, but I can't. Yeah, no, I can't hear him at all. Okay, so it's not just me. No one can hear him. Okay. It's not just me. Okay, I thought it was me that had the shitty connection. Whoever's recording, I guess you guys could just edit this part out, because we're probably gonna wait a little bit. Ah, man. Yeah, I still can't hear you, if you're wondering. I can't hear you. Wait. Anybody who's hearing this, can you guys hear me? All right, you guys can hear me. You can't hear him. So it's his connection, not mine. All right, just making sure because if it was my fault, then that would be my fault, but it's not. Well, since we're waiting, just gonna let you guys know, tomorrow my top 10 worst PC fanboys list is gonna be uploaded. Uh, I'm almost done with that video and it should be up by tomorrow. Actually, he's not number one, believe it or not. He's not. You guys are muted, so I can't have like an actual conversation with you people, but whatever, it's cool. I mean, it is what it is. I'm wondering what defines a fanboy to you. I only consider people
Hello?
fanboys. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Okay, good. I
was just
was
reading the chat.
just doing a little pilgrimage trying to find the Ethernet cable, which apparently doesn't exist.
So, how'd you fix it? You just restarted it or something?
I restarted my Discord and I went into Task Manager to start closing out things. With my PC rig, it was I just have gotten my new PC rig, so it was sort of me transitioning from one computer to the next. So it was my older one, and I had to move it, so it was kind of frustrating. So.
Okay. So this guy, Magma, asked a question. I think we should talk about it. It's he asked, "I'm wondering what defines a fanboy to you. I only consider people fanboys if they use misinformation arguments. You want to talk about that? What defines a fanboy?"
Yeah, sure.
So I guess you could start off because I started off last time before got off a little bit.
So when it comes to fanboyism, when it really goes down to the differentiating somebody who is neutral, somebody who is just a fan, and somebody who's a fanboy, is that when you tend to look out at the characteristics of a fanboy, you tend to see that they defend stuff in which isn't really 100% pro-consumer or isn't 100% in their best interest. So when you look at fanboys, you're looking at sort of people who have this sort of want to have what they got better than somebody else's. And what makes a fan is somebody who enjoys something else, but does take in consideration other downfalls. And what makes somebody neutral is somebody who is in between and doesn't quite know which to go for.
Yeah, so the way I see a fanboy is someone who is like kind of almost like obsessive over a certain product, like JTech TV. That guy is like literally he has a cult dedicated to Sony and everything PlayStation. Like that's a fanboy. That's a total fanboy. Or what's that other dude? Crap Gamer. That's his name.
Crap Gamer, yeah.
The Xbox dude. Yeah, no, they're both. I'd consider them both fanboy because they kind of have like a blind obedience to a company and they can't see anything else. Like I don't know, because JTech TV blocked me on Twitter the other day. I don't know why, but he did. I guess because he invited me to join his little cult and I declined his offer, so I guess that's why I got blocked by him. That's what I would consider a fanboy.
Yeah, you gotta be a little careful around JTech there because I did a video on JTech. I think it was the second one I did. It was when I got a better one. But it was during that in which I did a video on him, right? And he saw the video. So he posted it on Twitter directing people towards the video. And I went from a 1 to 2 dislike ratio because I don't know, just people who tend to look at my channel tend not to be on my side. But from a 1 to 2 dislike ratio to the 1 to 24. Well, 2 to 24. So, and that was after Twitter. And he just sent a bunch of people to go and do that. And I do understand, and I won't take this against you because both you unblocked me and I figured out that the actual reason. I don't really think the reason that you blocked me in the first place was necessarily because I was a brony, because there was a lot of other people in that conversation that were more obvious of bronies than I was. But I think it was really when I was speaking the different languages. But I was just gonna add
Your connection's getting fucked up again, dude.
yeah, and
If you have other shit running, you should probably close it. That would probably help.
all right. There's
Am I the only one that can't hear him that well, or am I bugging?
You're bugging too. Now it says I'm full. It says my ping is a little high.
Okay.
Am I cutting out? Or is that?
Yeah, no. Do you? Is he cutting out for you guys too? Because that's what happening. That's what's happening for me a little bit. Like he's cutting out a bit.
Yeah. They're asking if they want somebody else to talk.
It's up to you, I guess. I don't care.
if you want to have people, then I can get other people to do it. Yeah, the chat looks like there's other people who want to join. That's fine, because apparently it looks like most of the people here are definitely pro PC. So
they all are.
yeah. So I'm gonna go to channels and I'm gonna let the Chrono staff come in. And then I think that's Magma because he sent something to me, so hang on.
I don't care. You can have as many people on there. I don't really care.
Okay. Oh, connection.
Doesn't matter to me. It's your show or your Discord, whatever. I don't care. Do what you want.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of new to Discord right now, so I'm trying.
Yeah, I don't really use it.
Yeah. And server settings. And I grab my phone real quick because I have it on my phone.
Well, like I can hear you fine now.
Move the public gaming.
Oh wait, no, now it's fucked up again. I can't hear you. Alright.
It's chopping up too. Game public game chat.
I can't hear you. Alright.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, my internet went crappy all of a sudden.
It's fine, man. Where do you live? Like, what region are you in?
East Coast America.
Oh, okay. Me too.
Yeah. So, when we... Yeah, okay.
Oh, about like JTech and all those people? You're talking about that, right?
Yeah.
No, so like what I was saying basically is that like, I mean, people accuse me of being a fanboy and everything. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, which is whatever. But you guys can at least admit that like JTech's on a different level than I am.
Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
Okay, so we can at least agree on that.
Because from what I've seen from Barry's debate, usually when you are proven wrong, you admit that you're wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think a huge difference with me and him, I think if you invited JTech here instead of me, like, you wouldn't be able to talk to him, like, that well. He wouldn't even be able to... Oh yeah, he's got me blocked too.
Exactly.
If he joined, he would just scream Uncharted and then leave.
Yeah,
maybe he saw that follow Rags and maybe he's like, oh, he likes PC, which if he's seen my videos, he should know that's not true, but I don't know. I don't know why he blocked me. It's stupid.
He doesn't care who you are. If you follow Rags on Twitter, you're blocked.
Or it could
Yeah,
also be
pretty
because
much.
I also have an Xbox One, and he probably doesn't like that either.
Yeah. I have an Xbox One, but I usually play PS4 when I go to my pals' houses sometimes. But I primarily go on PC mainly because when I trying to get into animation and I needed a powerful computer to get into animation, so I thought another cool thing I could do with it was gaming, and that's how I
Right.
got in. That's pretty much the story for me.
Yeah.
So it's
No.
like
So, yeah. Continue.
So it's like when I'm gonna move on to exclusives because when we talk
Sure.
about exclusives, there compared to the Xbox One, the PS4, there are very little actual. Sorry, I'm jumping in speech. This isn't the connection. This is just me real quick. But when we do exclusives, the PC just has so many exclusives. If you say that those exclusives are crap, then you pretty much haven't played them all. But it's pretty impossible to play them all. But when it comes to Xbox One, PS4 exclusives, when you actually look at gameplay mechanics, unfortunately, I don't know why, you tend not to see either them being taken away very often or them just not innovating it. If you want to join in and correct me real quick, if you believe there should be correction.
Okay, so the way I see the whole exclusive debate, like, I'm not gonna go out and say like, oh, all games that are only on PC and not on consoles are shit. Like, I don't really feel that way, but I feel like when you take the exclusives on Xbox and PlayStation, I mean, not necessarily Xbox anymore because they're putting their games on PC now, but like with the PlayStation at least, like I think the only exclusive on PlayStation that was like genuinely bad was probably like the Order 1886.
Mm,
I heard that
I
game
felt
was
like
really terrible. I haven't played it myself,
Uncharted
so I'm
was
not gonna judge.
Yeah, no, that game was not good at all.
Uh,
Like, I haven't played it. It was a total waste. It was like, what, like 6, 8 hours? And it didn't have any multiplayer. It was, no, not good. The gameplay itself wasn't even good either.
yeah.
By
And
the
that's the
way,
same for Rise because
I would
Yeah, go
like to
ahead.
say something about
Sure.
generally the discussion about exclusives. Thing is, you can go about exclusives in two ways. One way is objective, one way is subjective. You can say one platform has more good exclusives or has the better exclusives, but as the most objective you can get there is sorry, my tongue is
Sloppy.
Yeah, so,
dying. Anyway, what I was saying, the only way you can be objective about quality is to talk about user ratings. And I
mhm,
wouldn't say those are perfect either. It's just majorities, minorities, and everything. Everyone likes different games. I would probably never go out and rate a strategy game because I don't play many strategy games. And I'm not really
right.
into that stuff. But if I don't enjoy a strategy game, doesn't mean it's bad. But yeah, that's about as objective as you can get.
Yeah.
And you can get, and the objective way you can use is numbers. Uh, like how many exclusives, and there the PC definitely wins.
Yeah.
I,
Because
I'm
I'm a big fan of games like Civilization and those strategy games. I got Civilization 6 and I'm just loving it. But when like and this isn't really an argument with MrNoobTubeGamer because he tends not to use this point and tends definitely not to call us this. He calls out people that calls us this. But the whole PC port beggar thing is pretty stupid
Oh,
because
man.
it's like not do like quote unquote beg. I think does take a look at
I
feed.
do want to talk about that, though,
Comes
because,
to exclusives.
like, you guys know, what's his name? Top Hats and Champagne, right? That dude?
Yeah.
yeah, I know
Okay,
him.
so let me talk about him because it's kind of related about the PC beggar thing. So I watched a video by Top Hats and Champagne, and he was talking about how anti-consumer and how horrible it is that console games have exclusives, and how they like how horrible it is that Sony and Microsoft have exclusives, but he doesn't have a problem when there are games that are only on the PC. I think that's a bit hypocritical.
Okay, I would like to make a point on that. Okay, you go first. If I have anything to add, I'll go after you.
But he didn't really specifically bring up like, oh, it can run it or not. He was literally talking about like, he didn't say specifically. He was just talking about PC games in general, like that if a console game is exclusive, it's bad and it's anti-consumer. But like, even we're talking about indie games, like if we're talking about Undertale and games like that, you know for sure they can run on the console.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but the thing with those is...
Yeah.
And you can tell that these developers, if they had the ability to put them on consoles, they would.
Yeah.
You guys do have to give credit to Sony and Microsoft though, like that at least compared to last generation, they're a bit more indie friendly than they used to be.
That is true, yes.
Because that's what I always seen. Like I think like yeah, I didn't really see that many indie games last generation like coming to the consoles compared to this generation. You have like, they brought Don't Starve and all these other indie games over. Like it's it's definitely improved.
I heard that
It's definitely good to bring a game to more gamers, no matter what it is.
And you also kind of have to look at it from an economic standpoint, because Sony and Microsoft is doing the decisions they make based on demand. So since there's a lot of demand for mods for Fallout 4, that's why Microsoft decided to put the mods on there. I think if there's enough demand to put all these indie games on the consoles, I think Microsoft and Sony will let it happen.
Thing, it was just something that really Bethesda wanted to do, and it wasn't necessarily Microsoft asking Bethesda to do it.
Yeah, you're cutting off.
Just me.
Yeah, hang on.
Feel bad for this guy. Yeah,
all right, yeah. It's been, yeah. I just had to move it out, so it's like 10 times farther from the router than it usually is. And you about your clank line. Yeah.
That's why I use cable.
Yeah, I don't have any Ethernet up here though. It's from. That's what we're gonna do with new build, but yeah, we're gonna see Ethernet cable.
We drilled through the walls and everything.
I'm gonna meet my.
Put Ethernet everywhere in all rooms where we needed it quite some time ago. But I guess that's not possible everywhere, because if you don't own the house, for example.
Oh no, our house just has really, really thick walls because it's really old. Glass from the back.
Oh, how old
How
old is yours? Ours is like, the one I live in is like, I think it was built in 1862 or something.
You're cutting out for me.
Anyway, yeah, let's go back. Let's get back on topic.
I'd have to check, but I think mine was around the late 1700s. It was like really, really old house.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What were we talking about again? We were talking about exclusives, or we're talking about indie games.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I have a feeling that I can't be too sure, but I think next generation, the consoles will definitely be more PC friendly, because the PC gamers complain a lot about how consoles don't run games well and all that stuff, and how they don't have a lot of indie games and shit. I think they'll definitely improve a lot next generation, and I think think they'll probably attract more PC gamers than they did this generation. I know they're trying already with the PlayStation Pro and the Scorpio, but I don't think it's gonna really do as well as they think it will. I think you just have to wait till the next generation.
I don't think that's going to work either because they increase resolution, but what most of us really care about is frame rate. We care more about frame rate than resolution. Example, on my laptop, I play Doom, and I'm willing to play it at 480p to get it to 60 FPS. I mean, I'd rather play it on my PC, but I can only play it on my laptop.
I did that in BL4 when I was on integrated.
Yeah, I know with
I love playing Doom when the teacher's not looking.
Because I know with Battlefield 4 on the consoles, like on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, like they lowered the resolution in favor of the frame rate. They had it 60 frames.
Yeah, but what is a problem often with the consoles is usually you'd say, turn down the graphics and do that in favor of the frame rate, but the problem is often their CPU cannot really handle it. There's a lot of games that take a lot of power from the CPU, like GTA 5, for example. I have a CPU around, I would say with the overclock, around 3 times as powerful as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and I still I still drop below 60 FPS on GTA 5.
I mean, me personally, I really enjoy the PlayStation 4 version of GTA 5 because I was so used to playing it on the PS3, and obviously it's a huge improvement because the PS3 version was like, you can tell it was pushed to its very limit.
Yeah, I think I'm just a lot less tolerant to lower frame rates because I grew up with 60 FPS even when I was a main console gamer. It was back on the Super Nintendo, and that ran most games at 60.
I would be very, very, very surprised if the next generation did not have 60 frames per second. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think that'll be an issue next generation.
The thing I'm worried about is they really focus on making it look good in the trailers and everything, making it look good in the media, and for that they're willing to sacrifice frame rate in favor of graphics. And that's something I really, really do not like. And that's why I'm not sure if they will, in the future, change that. Thing is, except for when the CPU can't handle it. If the CPU could handle 60, then it's up to the developer to choose between graphics and frame rate. And the developer knows if the trailers look good and everything, and it looks good in the media, it's gonna sell well. So a lot of developers would choose graphics over frame rate.
Yeah, it's just, I think frame rate's a lot more important when we're talking about first-person shooters.
Yeah, that is true. The only games I really don't have a problem with to play at 30 or something is, I guess, turn-based RPGs. I'm okay with playing Pokemon at 30.
I was gonna point out Civ because in Civ there's an option to turn off the movement and the combat in Civilization 5. But yeah, I was actually I was able to. I was playing at 2 different frame rates, and these are like frame rates in which one of them I went on full ultra. Like I was testing out my new PC and what it could do. So I went from medium settings to ultra settings, and from medium I got 557 frames per second, and then I went to ultra and I had 127. And 127 dipped below 60, and I did feel it. And this is from me playing Battlefield 4. And Battlefield 4 is really a game in which I played on the Xbox essentially a lot, and I just didn't have a chance to get it for the PC. So it was me moving from the Xbox to the PC, but I still did feel that frame drop. And it's not really something you see, it's more something you feel.
Oh yeah, that's...
So let me just bring up like a point, because I did bring this up with the debate I had with Barry. So you know how everyone keeps talking about how underpowered the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were when they first released? So I think the reason why they did that was kind of from a business standpoint because they didn't think it was going to be a big deal, and also Sony. I don't know how they're doing now, but back then they were doing pretty shitty, like business wise, like they were close to going out of business. And the PlayStation 4, like for a while, I don't know, it probably still is being sold at a loss. Like they're not making any money from PlayStation 4 hardware sales, so they feel like okay, if we make the hardware better, the price is going to be even more expensive and less people are probably going to buy PS4s because there were people who waited like a year, 2 years, 3 years to upgrade and still played on the PlayStation 3. You know what I mean? So I think that's why that happened. It was more of a they looked at it from more of an economic standpoint than like a pro-consumer standpoint or like taking PC gamers into consideration. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't consider taking PC gamers, but when you say that, it's sort of for me. I just was like, But when it comes right down to it, when we look at the actual cards and the actual companies that make the card, which is for them, AMD, I believe, is for both of them. But
Yeah, AMD makes the hardware for both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Nvidia makes the one for Nintendo Switch. But
What I do
Nvidia
think
has not taken the deal on Microsoft and Sony.
It's how like Xbox gamers and PlayStation gamers argue with each other over which system has better graphics. Like I think that's ridiculous. I think that's completely ridiculous. It's just a stupid argument to have because
Yeah. And when the PC gamer jumps in and it's like
the PlayStation 4 isn't much more powerful than the Xbox One. They're acting like it's a huge deal. It's not really a deal, especially since like if you really want to argue graphics, then there's no point. If you really care about graphics so much, get a PC.
Yeah, that is true.
That is true.
Also, honestly, if you care more about gameplay, then the Xbox One would probably be slightly better than the PlayStation 4, because even though they have the same CPU, the Xbox One is running a bit of a higher clock speed, so that would mean that in most games that will probably cause less frame drops if they didn't go too much nuts with the graphics. So that means a more consistent frame rate, which makes for a better feel, at least.
But like, here's the thing that I don't understand: why people always go after like console fanboys, but PC fanboys never really get attacked that much. Like they're like people don't go after PC fanboys as much when they should.
Yeah.
Because like.
Not me.
I've been on the PC.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at like you can't even like accuse me of like being a liar because just check out my Steam and I have a lot of games and a lot of hours into them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was more of a joke, honestly.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna actually do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not Review Tech USA that fucking e-begs and posts this fucking, that makes people pay for all this shit. Yeah, he was always called Review Beg USA for years. Man, no, but like what I was saying, there was this PC fanboy like that was saying that, oh, you only have to upgrade PCs every 10 years. Like, that's obviously a lie.
It depends on what you want.
It is a stretch. Yeah, no, for sure. And also, like, I don't know, I just feel like PC fanboys, like, are kind of like it's something that people don't talk about as much. People are too focused on the console wars and like Sony versus Microsoft. People are too focused on your JTech TVs and your crap gamers and whoever else is around. And they're focused on me too, I guess. I'm labeled as a fanboy. But Yeah, no, I just feel like PC fanboys don't get enough exposure, and they need to be exposed when they should be. Like, whether we're talking about, like, I'm not necessarily talking about your rags or your bullet barries. Like, I don't consider them the worst. I consider like people like Blackbuster Critic and other people like that as fanboys, because I mean they even admit to being fanboys. Just, I mean, they're like at least extreme PC fanboys. Like they're very, very, very arrogant, and they think they're better than other people because they play their games on a PC. I'm not necessarily saying that you guys are doing that, but you have to admit there's a sizable amount of people on the internet that are like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a problem. No, I don't think everybody who plays is a fanboy. I just think there's a good amount of them that are fanboys, and people don't necessarily like to acknowledge that. Because I feel like if you're like, oh, this person's a PC fanboy, I'm attacking all PC gamers, and that's not really what's happening. That's not really what I'm doing.
By the way, about the thing you said earlier with the guy who said 10 years, I just did a bit of research, and a 10-year-old top-end GPU, even two of those, they would have trouble running games like The Witcher 3. They would be running them at less than 30 FPS, though 10-year-old CPUs can, like, the Core 2 Quad Q 6700 can still hold up quite well and play modern games still. But yeah, a 10-year-old PC will not really do well with modern games, especially not if you didn't spend a lot on it.
Especially graphically demanding ones.
Yeah.
I don't think they can run those games. Even at low settings, they'll probably have an issue.
Yeah. The thing is, sadly, I only found the best thing I could find was Ultra Settings Witcher 3 benchmark with two 8800 Ultras. So that's dual graphics cards and Ultra Settings, which is, yeah, not really a good idea to test in a modern game.
Yeah.
I'm a little back, sorry.
But yeah, the consoles are still kind of weak, though. If you look at the time they came out, I once saw a comparison between a GTX 480 and the Xbox One. The GTX 480 came out in one sec. What was it again? GTX 480 release date. It came. So with a bit of an overclock, it even without an overclock, it beat the it did beat the Xbox One, and it came out in 2010.
NoobTube, if I may ask, where can we find some of these archetypal fanboys? Because I'd be interested in seeing that for posterity.
Well, it's funny that you asked, because I'm making a video called Top 10 Worst PC Fanboys that's coming out tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll be sure to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will too.
None of you are on the list. I mean, I don't even know most of you, but I wouldn't consider you guys like fanboys. You guys are pretty civil, and you guys don't seem like arrogant pricks like someone else that's in this chat.
Yeah. Thing is, if a PC company does something bad, I will call them out. Nvidia has fucked up multiple times in the past. Like, you heard of the GTX 970 VRAM scandal?
No.
So, they said it would have 4 gigabytes GDDR5 memory, but the thing was, it had 3.5 running at full speed and then half a gigabyte running slower. Also, they claimed it had more cores than it actually did. So they did they were guilty of false advertising.
Damn.
And when I found out about that, I did call them out, and I did say that is not okay. And I supported I supported when people were asking. I'm not gonna lie, I do go on the PC Master Race subreddit. It's not as elitist as you would think from the name.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, but thing is, people when someone on there was asking since he bought a 970 if he should sue Nvidia, I did say yeah, go ahead, sue Nvidia.
Yeah.
I have not seen. Oh yeah, I was about to say I haven't seen AMD fuck up, but I did. When they released the RX 480, it drew too much power from the motherboard, which would lead to some issues and some crashes. So yeah, that's a mistake they made. And Intel, that's an easy one. They've been inflating prices ever since AMD has not been competitive and has been lagging behind. So yeah, there's a point. There's a point against every major PC hardware company.
You also got like programs like Steam who've done some shady shit in the past, like pay for mods and
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna bring that up.
Paid mods. Yeah, that was bullshit.
So it's not like
To be honest, Valve has, out of all gaming companies I've seen so far, at least the big ones, Valve has been the least anti-consumer, but that doesn't mean they don't fuck up.
Yeah. You also got like the DMR policies, and there's a difference between DMR on. I can definitely say there's a major difference between DMR on Steam and DMR like on the release of the Xbox. DRM. Yeah.
On Steam, it all depends on the game. There are actually games on Steam that are DRM free. I have this game called Void 21, and you can actually just copy the folder and put it on a different computer and start the exe and it will work. So Steam DRM is game dependent actually.
Yeah. I know one thing with and I might do a little topic switch if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
If you're all done with this. But when it comes down to it, it was really in the point in which, and this is, and if Rags is listening, this is something which I found kind of funny. It was the second I got my computer, and Rags was like customizability. One of the things Rags said about customizability with the was that there wasn't really much customizability with the Xbox One, the PS4, besides putting stickers on it. And the first thing I did when I got my PC was put a sticker on it.
Intel Inside.
No, like not with the Intel Inside stuff. It was a legit sticker of a fish. But when it comes right down to customizability, it was like there were customizability on the PC. There's just a lot of it. I needed to do and I wanted to know because I know the first time in which I was considering buying a PC, I was going to buy a gaming laptop. And that's that was going to be a mistake if I ever did.
That was a big mistake for me. I'm not gonna lie, it was bad.
Yeah.
Laptops are not that great of a value. I paid, I think, $700 for my laptop. Then again, it comes with a screen and stuff. It did have a 1080p screen, but it doesn't run games very well. To get 60 FPS on Fallout 4, I have to run it on the lowest settings. And like I said, Doom 480p.
Because I got mine in the beginning, like early 2012 is when I started the whole, when I got that laptop. And it was actually really good. Like, I had no problems with it for like a year. The only problem I had, and this is actually a pretty funny story, so you know how like laptops get very, very, very overheated easily, especially gaming laptops? Yeah. My laptop was running at like 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which was boiling point. And
wait,
it was so bad that when I had it on my
Celsius,
it was 100 degrees Celsius.
Oh yeah, that is very hot. You don't want your hardware to be that hot.
100 Celsius is boiling point temperature. So my computer like could have boiled from the inside, but it kept like shutting itself off, to prevent that from happening. So I had like a lot of overheating problems, and actually got so bad that I had it on my lap and I actually got like a burn mark on my leg.
Well,
and it lasted for like years.
Well, did you clean out the inside of it? Like put dry air through it or something? Because that would be like dust.
That doesn't help. No, it wasn't dust. It was so overheated because it was overheated when I first got it too. It was brand new.
Actually,
there's a manufacturing problem.
Yeah, I actually made a video exposing Alienware, and they actually contacted me
Yeah, I don't
And
know why anyone would buy Alienware products.
Yeah.
I would never do it again, ever.
It's garbage.
When I got
Okay.
my laptop, which is an Asus laptop, around the same time I got my Xbox. I think it was actually on the same day as I got my Xbox. What a coincidence. But it very recently, because I was using it, very recently it just flat out turned off. And initially thought it was dust because there was a bunch of dust on the actual laptop, like where you put your hands and such, like the keyboard. But when I called not AMD, the Asus company, and I got on the telephone, they said unplug it, hold the power button down for 3 minutes, plug it in, and turn it back on, and it should work. It was the strangest, events. But when it comes down to laptop, and I know my aunt just got very expensive $150 laptop. And the build of which I just made myself was around $1,000. I had an extra monitor, and I had a couple of keyboard and mice. In fact, a specific gaming mice. But my computer now uses a 1060, I believe it is. Yeah, 1060. And when I looked at, because you gotta remember, her computer is $500 more expensive than mine is, if you exclude it, even if you exclude the monitor, because I have my own monitor. If you include that with the price of my desktop, it will still be like $400 more. And it used, I think it was a 980. But what you need to remember about laptops, and I actually did research when I was deciding either to get a laptop or a desktop, was that when you look at computers, especially with laptops, and you see 980 in a laptop, you know it's going to be less performance because they got a mini version of that graphics card.
I don't think anyone should ever get a laptop for gaming, ever.
Well,
I think there's a few situations where it could be a good idea if someone's constantly traveling. Like I know a couple people that are that are actors and stuff, and they are almost never home. They're always traveling.
One of my friends is a
So it
commercial
would be
airline
hard
pilot.
for them to actually use a PC, even if it was a mini ITX build.
Right. What were you saying, Graham?
Me?
Yeah.
I like to build me
Well, one of my friends is a commercial airline pilot, and he has both a desktop and a PC. Because airline pilots, I didn't know this beforehand, but airline pilots make a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money. So what happens with him is that he would bring his laptop around to play games when he's in foreign countries because he does international flights. I look websites here. But when they're doing international flights, but when he's at home, he uses his desktop. So that would be a sort of case in which he has the money to put into a laptop, but would also have a desktop for when he's home because he does a lot of traveling and such. And when you're a commercial airline pilot, another thing which tends to happen, and this happens a lot, is that pretty much you can schedule 3 months to just take a break from it because you just make I don't understand why, but airline pilots just make a lot of money. So he just flat out goes on a break and pretty much does whatever he wants for like 3 months and then goes back to being an airline pilot.
Yeah, no, I never had the chance to carry my laptop around because literally maybe a few months after I got it, the battery died. And I still have it plugged in to this day, like I can't move it around. And I don't feel like buying a new battery.
Well, that's always annoying.
Yeah, but is it an internal battery or an external battery?
I'm pretty sure it's internal.
Yeah, mine's an external. And one of the things in which I did because it came with an extra battery and I knew I'd never need it. So I went to the shooting range and decided to shoot it up, and it just created a bunch of sparks, and it was kind of fun.
Also, the screen, literally, because you know how, with laptops, you open and close it a lot?
Yeah.
One time I closed it, and then when I went to open it again, one of the hinges, snapped on the Alienware laptop. It was horrible. I have videos of how it looked. It was bad. Really bad. and I was like playing with a fucked up screen and like
Uh-oh.
for a while.
There you go.
Yeah, laptops can
computer
often
was
break
supposed-
easily. I remember actually one of my classmates, he was playing a game. He was visiting me and he was behind me playing a game on his laptop. And then he started raging, punched his laptop, and then bam, his graphics card was dead.
No, I'm being honest. I didn't punch it or hit it or drop it or anything. It just randomly snapped because Alienware is horrible.
Yeah, well, me, I've been having this laptop for 5 years now, and it still works barely, but it still works in a way.
Whoa.
The CPU
What?
died, so it's only running at half speed all the time. But apart from that, it runs. I can run like Dark Souls 2 with it, but yeah. And if I I just remove the charger, the battery still works for 3 hours if I just let it idle.
I forgot I was gonna say don't.
Don't worry, Wubstep, just 2 more parts and you're good. It's what I'm saying, because I'm building a PC for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like crying on the inside because he thinks that I can't, because I'm trying to run like new games like Dark Souls 3 and I can barely run them at like 27 frames.
Well, usually, like, for my work computer, because with my work computer, I sort of had to I sort of put in just a 760 and just ran with that for a while. But it was really cool because very recently, when I say very recently, I mean literally yesterday, I was able to build a PC, and like the most I've ever built a PC was just plug in a graphics card. So when I actually built it, I had very low expectations, and it didn't even meet those expectations. Because for me, when it comes to building a PC, it's sort of like Legos. You have instructions, but most of the time you're never going to use them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I never really have had issues with building PCs. Things, it's just become easy to me because I built my first PC when I was 7 years old with the help of my uncle. We even did a bit of case modding. We actually, I don't know why, but for some reason we felt the need to shove the monitor into the case. It looked really stupid, but it worked.
Yeah.
And it was nice. I built that to play Lego Star Wars, which is
Yeah, right. You know, like the only game that you don't really need a powerful computer for.
Yeah, and since then I've built since then I guess I'd say I've built one PC from scratch, and after that I've just been replacing parts. But with all the part replacements, I'm at my 3rd PC right now.
Yeah. This is totally not for gaming, but I'm planning on upgrading from the i5 to the i7 because of video rendering reasons. Yeah, I think I said this before on my channel, and I'm also going to say that now. My channel isn't solely based on gaming. I just use gaming to fill in the gaps between the other things I want to do on it, which take very long.
Just wait until AMD releases Ryzen, because that will surely drop prices.
Yeah. I honestly got, it was really neat because my graphics card, and I think you said it was overkill before, it's the Maximus, I just forgot the number, VII Hero. And it's just, it's usually a $200 graphics card, and I got it cheap for like $120. And it was like, yeah, it went with my, another graphics card, which I got for cheap. I pretty much got my motherboard and my GPU for the cost of just a GPU. Which is really cool because when I got this mic too, I got Watch Dogs 2 with it. And that's like the only reason I have a Uplay account.
Yeah, like screw the fucking 5 games that you had for free, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. So, yeah, you saw one of your other videos, and I'm just gonna say this. There are a lot of idiots in the PC Master Race. Just because we play on PC doesn't mean we are smarter people. We just think we made the better choice. And
Yeah.
Okay,
Look, to
I
be
mean,
honest, I had
that's how everyone feels when they buy something. They feel like they made a better choice than other people. That's just natural. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, we're not better people. We just have the better box with electronics in it.
But some people think they're better people. That's what I have a real problem with.
I'll be completely honest with you, the only person which is one of my friends who plays on PC is somebody who was from Russia, which is kind of weird, and his name is Autumn, and he plays on PC, and he's like pretty much the only one of my friends who plays on PC. He also plays on PS4, because pretty much the rest of my friends play on PS4.
I used to play on Xbox, and I actually changed to PC because I wanted to play Minecraft. Not gonna lie.
I built my second PC for Minecraft.
I was like, I think like 10 years old back then, and I actually changed to PC because I wanted to play Minecraft. My first PC ran Minecraft at 30 frames, and I'm never gonna forget that. I used to run like so many mods on it, yet I couldn't run them. And one day, one of my friends just told me, you know, like parts matters. And then I bought a new PC, and I realized, yeah, parts do fucking matter. I was an idiot.
It was really funny. The whole reason I'm a brony was because when I used to have a PC in another place I used to live, it used to be right next to the TV, in which my roommate was a brony, so he was watching My Little Pony. So I was playing, because at that time I was playing a lot of Minecraft. So I was playing Minecraft, and I looked over, and I saw My Little Pony, and so I'm like, oh jeez. And I just keep on looking over, and just keep on looking over, and to the point which I was just fully invested. That's why I was a brony. And it was really weird, because
Yeah, I guess
I know
mostly because of Gmod. Because, you know, Gmod is like filled with mods, and there's like a little bit of MLP mods, and I was like, why are there so many mods? Decided to do research, boom, got in the show.
Yeah. I was actually having a conversation with one of my mom's friend's son, and we were talking, and it's been a long time since I've seen this other person because of moving out and stuff like that. But we were talking, and then when I mentioned I was a brony, he goes, are you brony 1 or brony 2? And I go, well, what does that mean? Because I've never heard it before. Apparently,
I've never heard that either. Was he asking for your power level?
But apparently what it means is that brony 1 is that you have sort of a sexual thing, and brony 2 is that you don't. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you? But apparently there's a stereotype going around in which if you're a brony, you're automatically brony 1. I'm not brony 1. I'm definitely brony 2 from a long shot. But it was... Wait, is somebody recording this? I just realized.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay. Good.
Everyone came in with their OBS. They're like,
Oh man, I'm gonna make a lot of money out of this.
I just learned from YouTube I could have made $14 a year. That's more than my minimum wage.
I could have made 250.
Oh.
I think for me it's like 1,000 something.
Yeah, but I don't trust Shadowplay. I have 5 videos, and it thinks I have 9.
I have 105 videos, 2K subs. Yeah.
Yeah, damn it, Shadowplay. You remember when we were working on that video together, and I recorded Doom gameplay like 3 times,
Oh yeah.
and it only recorded the 3rd time. At least the 3rd time it was better gameplay. I got all the way through Lazarus Labs without dying on Nightmare.
Yeah. That's really gonna stink, but the thing with like having multiple distributors is that you got things like, I know that one of my friends uses this a lot, the format of Discord, and I literally got it like less than a month ago. I literally started using it less than a month ago, and that's the same with Twitter. And I have to be completely honest with you, the only reason I got Twitter was to
Due to a problem with the recording, that is where the audio ends. We got most of the good stuff, which is fine, but I'm sorry to say that's where the debate on my end is over. We luckily recorded this in 2 parts, for the actual person who was originally recording it didn't have the time to stay for the whole time. And part 2 will hopefully be posted on MrNoobTubeGamer's channel. The link is going to be in the description when he posts it, of course. And, of course, he's probably going to link it to this video when it's all said and done.